makes it feel very like I'm giving some kind of state address. So I'm going to do my utmost to not do an impression of the guy at Mandela's funeral, and just make up a sign language, because that would be offensive. So I'm going to do 3 poems, the first of which is really short, I wrote this morning, and then 2 kind of slightly longer ones. The middle one's going to be sad, and the last one is funny and like deep jokes and things, so just bear with me. Whew. So this one is called Pavlov in Love, or Pavlov. And it's about a sense of place. So I thought something about a sense of place would be fitting, given that it's, Storymap Dublin, etc. And that's how it goes. So as dogs who bell slaver, or cheese dreaming maze mice, we work hurry unwaveringly, or taxi rush to Clove Knavery, and years later the sodium still glows behind closed eyes, and a bell rings from Pavlov. We're lied to once, we're still place broken as divorce-thrilled lawyers, high on that of which lies our token, on what lies mean, not what lies were spoken, and when we mean to say warmth, we say we love the fire, and a bell rings for Pavlov. As split-second ruptured balloons, we hold the shape that held us, in heart pictures of picnic noons, in handheld warmth under wintry moons, and love for the place where love lived, lives, and still is felt, and the bell rings for Pavlov. I have the best possible intro for this next one, because it's a feature halfway through that a couple of years ago I was really lucky and I got a really cool job, which has allowed me to travel around the world, kind of. So today I got a tattoo commemorating it, which was a really bad idea because it turns out performing with like a sellotape or what's it called? Cellophane, thank you, around your middle means you fucking sweat buckets. But my grandparents who are hugely important to me, I can't tell them about it because they're really religious, and the show is it's a documentary piece about abuse in the industrial schools. Hey, jolly old club. Yeah, but it just feels weird because these 2 people who are hugely important to me and helped raise me and everything, they think I'm unemployed and I'm not. So there's a very important part of my life which is not available to them. And so this poem is kind of about that and growing up and all the happy things. Can you all hear me if I don't use the microphone?
Yeah.
No.
No, there's people in the very back.
Oh, hi. But I can't hold paper and talk at the same time, so if you want to move closer, I won't mind. But yeah, and we're going to read up the state address kind of vibe. This one goes. Bingo, a church across Whitehall, uncosseted, unkissed by tigers. This is a suburb of granny gossip and rotten chippers. They sterilised needles in that vinegar. Do you know who's dead? A side of Dublin oft forgotten but not yet gone, but a little bit gone off its head. This is sentimental for me. Home to the home my dad 100 and I 14-ish% grew up in. One day in 7 with the nana and the granda, one dinner a week pretending to still believe in heaven and to not know what sex is. They're happier that way because that's how the parents of the 60s protected their kids, by not talking to them. They themselves grew up with Chaplin monochrome stories, and that's what their kids were wrapped in. Double-speed cartoon violence that never got too gory. Silent and black and white. A negative image of negative reality. If it isn't said, it isn't happening. They're sweet in their way to hope, to think, to pray that things unworded, unnamed don't hurt us. That a punch not labelled as such doesn't bruise or batter, but kids can scream before they can chatter. Inarticulately speaking clearly, and though the meaning's not strict, not verbed, not noun, it's there, and with respect to Faulkner, he had it backward. Fury precedes sound. My grandparents used to bring me to mass by the brittle light the Whitehall and old people get in the morning, and I'd sit there with sore cold hands and numb-acidly wonder what this was. What was it for? Because it wasn't apparent. But I learned quick just not to ask, because they'd be hurt just like now. I know not to ask them why gay people can't get married, and how when they ask me what I'm doing, am I working, there's these chasmy pauses while I edit. Decide to let it be known that I'm working, I'm acting, I'm travelling to Iceland, to Russia, but to subtly subtract the fact that the show is concerned with priests raping kids. Makes them sad to think of the poor maligned brothers, and I don't want to hear them deny that the brothers did. They have a painting in their living room of Jesus with his arms wide, the show, his heart crisscross mine in honesty. I'm cross that it's his holds us apart. Which is something kind of like how I feel now that they're not just older but old, no more leaping from chairs or upstairs. These are tasks of gradual unfolding and help from us that is grudgingly accepted. They've always been active, golfing and acting the maggot and dancing the nana, can you stop? We believe you, there's no need to prove it. I brought my girlfriend over so you could meet her. Why are you showing off? This is completely unnecessary. And now it's one of those bittersweet things where we'd welcome back the can now that she can't, and ranting won't change it. So I don't stay hushed like with God's stuff, but if God is something that might be debated but not tactfully discussed, this is the reverse. This is something matter-of-factly stated. I'll see you again, God willing, or I've left your sister my singer sewing machine, which shows she means well, but still, I hate to hear it, because these things are bruising. But like with God, we are losing whether we speak or not, and these back and forths are the double hugs. Love with low, the bath that's too hot with the shower that's too cold, and the two feel surprisingly similar. This spirally familial love is as different from the straight line assault of lust as salt is from vinegar. They are polar, but love and loathe are solvent. The problem is not solved, but dissolves into something drinkable. Give me this love, this here now, please God, next week embrace of a fragile old woman who raised me, and the death thoughts are thinkable. And the biggest one, I suppose, is why is this happening to you? Which is not actually a question for a person, it's a question about being people. It's the kind of question that church steeples are aimed at, but for my money don't hit. To give the question a name, and for that name to be God, doesn't accomplish shit, it just pushes the answer away. And I prefer to keep it close, though unanswered, tight ball of tension in my chest, but make the most of what remains, conflicted as it may be. Hugging brittle bones, feeling fierce, intense, but I can't be. A feeling born in childhood, with childhood emotions' immensity expressed in the smallest, most gentle of squeezes. I love cagedly what age does what it pleases, and that there's the doubleness, but hug. Hug while you can, because it's all you're gonna get. Double hug, double love, troubled love, but love all the same, and nonetheless.
And now for dick jokes.
Last poem, which is definitely about Dublin, it's called Bong Bong Bong, in the bell sense, not the drugs sense. It goes like this. Straight shot past the stately plump stick prick on Talbot to the spire, where the wired lads get shut down by court guards. All right, lads. Straight from north past Blanchard's town, blanch-faced satellite anemic, where got a light bud doesn't mean what it seems to, it's a provocation. Straight from south past tallowankers and big house bankers with the face on and pants down. They are fathers of daytime leasing streeters, meet and greeters, institutional learners, daddies who are the nighttime clientele of Leeson Street trick turners, whose cigarettes burn as bright as our bridges. To O'Connell Street, of the shit-faced stumblers, O'Connell's feet on the statue, shit splashed by pigeons, and the rumble of the 50% misspelled nightlink shakes us. Those boob bullet-holed angels take no souls hellwards or skywards, but taxis yellow zoom the brain-fried homeward. 3 a.m. exodus. Home may be where hearts do the nexus, but town clubs, pubs aren't for hearts but for dixes. Gollum. 3 a.m. the weekend nights, young tongues a wagging wags, a flirting flirts a thirsting for the rugby-shirted real men. I like ballet. Time for fun, hurt, betrayal, lust, tristesse, and say all you daytime dare not say. Fire away like honesty's in season, yous Easter rebels. No one's awake without a reason at 3 o'clock in the morning, be it mourning or revels. Like in Temple Bar, sacred rites of courtship and violet sight for violence and flirting with tourists. Wine, dine, do the dirt on your heritage, because this one's English. Irish accents are so sexy. Wouldn't Deb just wax vexed at these un-Catholic dalliances, these flat-on-your-back alienalias? Family values may still bind us, but post-Ryan report divorce and soon abortion, they don't squeeze us. Fuck the church, but not Jesus. And there's trinners where winningly accoutred cuties shoot breezes blowing due Joyce. Choice segments of the wake get woken, get spoken. And Olivia plura blah blah blah. I just love the way he uses words. And the worst bit is the Biganzi thinks he's the first one to think this way, bless his blazer. And there's the mez where continental libido goes mental, where laser-guided continental libido goes mental and heedlessly bumps, grinds and twists and needlessly forcefully jumps local esophagi, gobsmacked, not kissed. What a guy, his folks must be so proud of his antics, these frantic fields copped from the unwary. Theory had hoped to corrupt or be corrupted while abroad, but unstuck these broads seem set to remain. Because pick-up lines don't work in workmen's, everyone smokesman's. The amount of weed being toked out here is a fucking jokeman's. Faces red-lit and lit red tips of cigarettes like earthbound stars, and figures on the dance floor grind and terse round vectors, muscle and sweat projecting desire. This ride of equal parts, arcade fire, arctic monkeys and hipsters yipped up lips getting funky. And outside there's rainfall. Painful the chill on your fingers, as Dora the Explorer might say, smokers no smirting, because to linger outside's thick like the cloud wall, this proud pall of smog over College Green. Grattan, Burke, Goldsmith, seen but not looked at, because let's face it, who gives a fuck about statues except pigeons? Not the guy in the sleeping bag with the hash rigid with cold in Moore's shadow, because he's homeless. And I would imagine it's addling. The cold, the stares, the disaffection with feckless disavowals of change in pockets that jingle. And if that joint he's smoking is the single pleasure today, it would be strange to begrudge him, much less judge him for the crime of bored boy teens. A Dublin 4 indiscretion is aggressive self-poisoning in the moiety somehow, I think, not give me a break. And take me by Bay Bend to Bayside and joyride with Boyraz through Kilbarrack and back to town where the spire in its phallic glory juts, struts and underage scuts roll on home, and Christchurch sleeps till the bell tolls for thee Saturday night. Bong.